PSG win the Champions League. Leao wants to leave AC Milan. And I'll talk about some news I have missed. I haven't been posting for the past few days. So this is Untitled Football News. Let's get started. So on Saturday, PSG did defeat Arsenal in the Champions League. Going into the game, almost everyone was supporting PSG. This is one of the funniest things I've seen going into the game. Quite unique that everyone just didn't want Arsenal to win. All fans came together and supporting for the ultimate hate watch, you could say. So the game started off with quite simple lineups, normal lineups. Nothing too crazy about both teams' lineups. Just they fielded their strongest players. So the game begins, and 5 minutes into the game, Kai Havertz scores. Well, that's the point where I was really worried. It seemed like the game's going to go in Arsenal's favour, but when it comes to Kai Havertz is actually now the third player to score in the Champions League final for two different clubs. Ronaldo, Mandzukic have done it in the past. And after Arsenal got their goal, it was kind of expected. Yeah, the strongest defense in the world, you could say, for Arsenal, and the strongest attack in the world. Both would stick to their game plans. So Arsenal, well, I would say they crowded their box completely and then sat back to defend. And PSG, I felt like PSG, yeah, they tried to attack and they couldn't find space, especially through the lines. And I felt that PSG started getting a bit desperate towards the end of the first half. They started, you could see them like trying to call out the ref for every small tackle. And I think I've never seen that side of PSG, maybe because they've never been in the losing side for so long. So I think the desperation started to kick in. The referee was good. The referee actually, I would say, stood his ground and was quite bold when Arsenal was taking a lot of time for set pieces, especially before the first half could end. In that stoppage time, Arsenal were about to take a corner and the ref just blew the whistle because they were taking too long. So yeah, the referee did stay his ground, and I'll just talk about a few of his other decisions towards the end. So second half starts, and again something similar. Arsenal again defending, and in the 61st minute, finally Kvaratskhelia breaks through, and Mosquera dives in for a tackle and fouls Kvaratskhelia, and yeah, referee awards a penalty. So Dembele scores a penalty, and after that the game became a bit more level, you could say. But when it comes to Arsenal, they barely had any shots on target, and yeah, then the game again, I think it just slowly went to the 90th minute. It didn't feel like anything happened in that time. Barcola got a few one-on-ones, but kind of expected. Barcola's finishing is not that good. He did miss a few one-on-ones, and even I felt the game coasted through extra time. Talking about Arsenal actually didn't have an entire shot on target except for the goal for the whole game. They had like really low XG as well, and even a really few passes. I think before extra time they had only like 180 passes, and PSG had somewhere around 700. So there was a huge difference with Arsenal. Arsenal barely had the ball. It's fair play to them. They kept their shape and didn't concede, and PSG could barely create anything. But Arsenal didn't look like they wanted to score that much. They relied a bit on their counter attack and their transition. And maybe the only talking point for the 90 minutes and extra time was probably Madueke's foul, which actually, when watching it live, I felt that it's a foul. I felt that the referee would give the penalty instantly. But I think after watching the replay, if you watch the front angle, you can see Madueke grabbing Nuno Mendes' arm. So it's a good call by the referee. Really composed referee. So a lot of people say it's a penalty. I wouldn't be surprised if they had given it as well. But yeah, I mean, looking back, I think it's not the wrong decision. Going into penalties, PSG got to take the penalties in front of their fans, and they also got to take the first penalty. PSG scored, and then Arsenal scored. But then when it came to Eze shot wide. But the next penalty, Raya did save. That was Nuno Mendes' penalty, and Nuno Mendes always shoots right. So maybe that's why Raya could save it. But I noticed something that Raya always does, that he dives a bit early, like almost way early. But he somehow got to make one save, probably because Nuno Mendes always shoots there. And when it came to Safanov actually didn't have to make a save, because in the final penalty, Gabriel steps up, which I was surprised, and Gabriel skies it. And there, PSG won the Champions League. I was a bit surprised that Gabriel took it, but then I do know the centre backs these days take the penalties early so that they can save attackers for the last bit of the penalty shootout. Even PSG, their last penalty taker was actually Beraldo before Gabriel's penalty. So there's another defensive player who's taking a penalty. So just unlucky for Gabriel. Penalties are a bit of a lottery, you could say, but yeah, a bit unlucky for Gabriel. But at the end, all the fans who weren't Arsenal fans were happy, except maybe Marseille fans who were a bit sad that PSG won the Champions League and now they have more Champions Leagues than them. But Arsenal didn't win at the end. PSG didn't have to worry too much about penalties because both players missed, and even Safanov Safano actually didn't make a single save this whole game. That's crazy to even think about. That means from minute 1 to 122 penalties, not a single save. He conceded one goal. It was Havertz's goal. And it did show how much of not urgency, but how much Arsenal tried to make chances. Good defending from PSG as well. But yeah, the hate watch for all the fans was complete. This means that PSG have now won back-to-back Champions League, and yeah, maybe they can try for Real Madrid's repeat, try to break that, or maybe going 3. The team had well deserved PSG. Nobody actually cared that PSG won, but except for the fact that they wanted Arsenal to lose. So let me know what you guys think about the Champions League final. Did you guys hate watch as well? And Arsenal fans, yeah, commiserations. A lot of people are against you guys, so a bit of coming together. You guys united football fans. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Moving on to the next story, we have Rafael Leao who wants to leave AC Milan. The 26-year-old winger joined AC Milan in 2019 for 50 million from Lille, and since then he has won a Scudetto. But though the past 2 seasons, they haven't qualified for the Champions League. Last year they didn't even qualify for Europe, and this year they're not qualified for Champions League. So Leao came out in the open. Portuguese TV reporter asked him whether he's staying in AC Milan, so he came out saying that yeah, he wants to start a new chapter somewhere else, and he feels ready to test himself in a different league, and that he's given his all to Milan, and yeah, he's ready for a new challenge. His contract ties him down to the club until 2028, and he does have a release clause of 175 million, which I don't think any club is going to pay. This would have been somewhat reasonable maybe 4 years ago, but not now. His form hasn't been that good, but I wouldn't blame him so much. He has scored 10 goals and 3 assists in 31 games this season, but he hasn't scored since March. Now I wouldn't blame him too much because yeah, the way Allegri plays, yeah, he's a bit defensive. Attackers struggle a bit under him, and he switched to this 3-5-2 formation where Leao was a striker, and that's why it's not his natural left wing position, so that's why he struggled. Talking about Leao, maybe the only criticism other clubs have is maybe his form hasn't been that good, and his pressing, he's not the most active player when it comes to pressing. But something to notice about Leao is most of his goals are game-winning goals or equalizers in the last minute. So there is something about the player that makes him a big game player. So we shouldn't judge him, I guess, too harshly on how many goals he has scored. He does come off in match-winning moments well. I don't see which club would realistically want to go for him. His market value right now is 50 million, so it does seem more affordable. If he's interested in a Premier League move, I don't see Chelsea going for him because they don't have Champions League, and that's why presumably he's leaving AC Milan. And I don't see him joining maybe Arsenal if they want to replace Martinelli or Trossard, maybe as a he can play well. City, most likely not, because they have wingers, and maybe Mariska has his own plans. We don't know yet. United, it could be the case because they are wingers. Maybe they have only Cunha who plays on the left side, so he could be there. But I don't see Leao wanting to have a bit of a rotational role in a club. So I think he would definitely want to be a first team player and not rotate quite often. Granted, United will have a lot of games next season because of Champions League. Now Spurs are also linked with him. I don't see how Spurs can get him because I mean, it's Spurs, right? It's 17th place Spurs, so we don't know about that. In La Liga, I don't see Barcelona getting him because of Andy Gordon and everyone they've signed. Real Madrid, they have an abundance of left wingers, so probably not them. Atletico Madrid could be, but would you want to join them? Because do Atletico Madrid look like they're going to win trophies? And under Simeone is also a much more defensive type manager, which he has struggled in the past with Allegri. Bayern could be a good club for him because they were also trying to get him last season, but it seems that the sporting director halted negotiations and he was a bit annoyed by it, and they later on went for Diaz. I don't know if they'd want to go for him again, but they were linked with Andy Gordon and didn't get him, so maybe they do want a left winger, so maybe they'll go for Leao. So let me know what do you guys think about Leao. Would you guys want him at your clubs, and do you think he still has it in him to be a top class member? Let me know in the comments. So Liverpool sacked Arne Slot. So finally, as I've been saying, I was surprised that Liverpool didn't sack Arne Slot earlier. And yeah, the club came out on Saturday saying that it was a difficult decision to sack Slot, but they are grateful for his time at Liverpool. They did win the league in the first season. But now if you look at the second season, yeah, he's finished 5th place, and I think he'll switch from attacking from side of playing to a bit more pragmatic and a bit more defensive. And yeah, it's been a bit boring under Arne Slot, and his relation with Salah. Maybe maybe those were a bit of factors that we wanted them to find a new manager. Slot did have the most losses for Liverpool manager in a single season, that was 20 losses, but he does have a 55% win ratio, which is I think second best among Liverpool managers since 1985. So the replacement Liverpool are looking for Arne Slot is actually Andoni Iraola. He's been looked at for a long time, and his attacking style of football may be well suited for Liverpool because of how he's worked with Bournemouth, and yeah, they've gone unbeaten in the last 19 games Bournemouth under him. But one thing that did surprise me though is if they were planning to sack Slot, why didn't they not go for Alonso? I think this would anger a lot of Liverpool fans because Arne Slot could have been sacked earlier, and Alonso was just waiting for them. Alonso, I think there were reports that he wanted to wait for the and not take the Chelsea's job quickly because Liverpool may open up. But they never did, and now they've lost Alonso. Maybe they wanted a bit more direct manager like in Andoni Iraola, and Alonso is a bit more position based. So let me know, Liverpool fans, what do you guys think about the sacking of Arne Slot, and what do you guys think about Andoni Iraola? Let me know in the comments. So when it came up to yesterday's fixtures, we had Brazil versus Panama. It ended up 6-2. Casemiro scored 2, Vinicius scored, and Ryan scored his first goal for Brazil. Paqueta scored, and Brazil fans, Neymar's injured right now. So would you guys like to see a replacement? And does this mean that João Pedro could still join the team in the World Cup? So maybe not. Germany defeated Finland 4-0. 2 goals from Dennis Undav, 1 goal from Florian Wirtz, and a goal from Jamal Musiala. So that's all for Untitled Football News. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.